Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So today, I got to talk about Bitcoin. It looks a lot better today. And take a look at Solana. Solana is pumping today. So let's talk about how there is additional FUD around Bitcoin and also why we should ignore it. All right. Well, starting out with Bitcoin, you can see 61.7. So it is looking a little bit better than last night when it dipped down once again, right? So Bitcoin is coming back up, not quite that V-shaped recovery I would like to see, but nevertheless, we are moving forward. And this is amazing considering the type of FUD that we're seeing right now, right? I covered it yesterday. So, I mean, this is pretty big news that the US government is now selling their Bitcoin as well, right? What is going on here? It seems like there is an attack right now on Bitcoin, and it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It's like a coordinated attack between Germany and US now, right? And Mt. Gox. I mean, everything is happening right at the same time. But yes, Arkham did see that out of the Silk Road, um, the confiscation of Bitcoin from the Silk Road person, 240 million was sent to Coinbase. Again, why does the US government not call Coinbase and make a deal? Hey, Coinbase, we the Department of Justice here. We need to sell some Bitcoin, right? Like, why? Why just send it spot market? Doesn't make sense, right? So obviously, this caused a lot of FUD. They hold an enormous amount, enormous amount. Hopefully, they're not looking to dump it all on the spot market, just like Germany, right? But we did get more FUD, and one could only speculate. Is it BlackRock? Is BlackRock behind all this? Is BlackRock calling and coordinating this attack on Bitcoin? Or is it someone else? But it just seems like it's all happening at the same time. Even look at JP Morgan. Even JP Morgan says Mt. Gox creditors likely to sell part of their Bitcoin, again, adding to more FUD. We know that starting next month, Mt. Gox will be distributing 140,000 Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash to the creditors. Okay, out of the blue, again, the timing of it to announce this right at the same time that both governments are selling seems weird. And now JP Morgan is trying to add a FUD, saying, well, it's likely that people will sell, right? So again, we got a lot of FUD, which is why Bitcoin holding at where it is, right around 62,000, if you think about it, is quite amazing despite all the FUD, right? It's like feeling fearful right now once again. But if you're looking at, like, for example, like Solana's up 8% today. Look at that. Juber's up 11%. And you got many others that are up today as well, right? So obviously, retail investors, a lot of retail investors have been listening and have been holding and DCA. I mean, Solana has been oversold and was getting killed the last few weeks, and it is coming back up, and that's great. But overall, you're seeing a lot of alts turn green today, right? And that shows the strength of the long-term investors, the ones that believe that, of course, this is just a temporary dip. We will move past this and we will go higher. Now, going back to Bitcoin, looking at this, there's a lot of reversal signals. Despite all the FUD, and there's so much, the realized price, okay, Bitcoin has dipped below it. And usually, if you look at the previous cycles, the previous years, whenever Bitcoin breaks through, or in a lot of cases, it uses that average realized price as a support level or as a bounce level, right? So we're a little bit below that. Now we have come back up a little bit too, right? So this is a major reversal signal. This is good. Same thing. The Mayer multiple is showing that, yes, Bitcoin is doing what it did 8 months ago, back in October of 2023, when it was still below 40,000, approximately around 30,000, right? So there are so many charts and indicators that show that Bitcoin is extremely oversold. It is ready to bounce despite the FUD. And this is why it's awesome to continue to HODL and DCA, because when it does, when we get back up, you'll be better for it. You now have more. And look at this, $11 billion worth of shorts that can contribute to this next leg up. It certainly will. Around 72,000, just to get back to 72,000. And I like to remind you guys, we're back at 72,000, right? At beginning of this month, around the 7th, 8th of June. So just to get back up there, would liquidate about $11 billion worth of shorts. That is what I like to see. Okay. The bears are feeling confident. They are piling on the shorts. And what I love to see more than anything is for us to get back up there and wreck those bears. $11 billion. Think about that. That's quite a lot. Now, here's something else. Just looking at a simple indicator called RSI, and we are as oversold right now as look at those previous points. Low point of 2022, low point of 2023, low point again of 2023. We are as oversold as those times. Again, indicating that this is a great buying opportunity and a reversal is coming. It may take a while, but we're certainly much closer to the bottom than we are to top. So take a second to think about that, right? And again, on the grand scheme of things, when in doubt, zoom out and you look at how we are moving in this cycle, we're really not even halfway in terms of this rainbow chart. Okay, the maximum bubble territory, that's what we are looking forward to. End of 2025, that's when we will hit it. Maybe that's around 250,000 or maybe 300,000, right? But right now, we're still in the still cheap zone. We're not even in the yellow right now, right? And HODL, we're in still cheap. This is accumulation stage right now. That shows you how much more room we still have left just for Bitcoin. And imagine for all the alts out there, if Bitcoin still has this much room, what about everything else like Ethereum, right? Ethereum ETF could be coming soon, next month as well. And there's a lot of predictions. This one from Galaxy Digital says 5 billion in net inflows. Another one I saw was like 18 billion, right? It could be lackluster right at the beginning, but imagine when FOMO stage hits, when the entire market starts roaring upwards in 2025, these inflows are going to be way bigger than these predictions. Okay, we could have 50, 100 billion inflow by the end of this cycle just for ETH. I can't even imagine what it will be like for Bitcoin. It could be hundreds of billions. It could be trillions, even though that seems far-fetched. But it is the fastest. The Bitcoin ETF is the fastest growing ETF ever in history. In history of ETFs. Think about that for a second. The demand is certainly there and could just be astronomical later on, right? And by the way, I talked about Solana. Why is Solana pumping? Well, who's next? Who's next in terms of getting an ETF? This is top 20 according to Grayscale. And you can see number one, Bitcoin. Number two, Ethereum. Number three, Solana. And then number four, Toncoin. But it's not rocket science, okay? After Ethereum ETF, where we go get Solana. Once that gets announced, Solana is going to blow up, right? I mean, the fundamental of Solana is absolutely fantastic. Fantastic. You got real world dApps using it. It is much faster and cheaper than Ethereum, right? You got big institutional support of Solana as well. And let's not forget the meme craze, number one on Solana. So Solana's going to get that next ETF. And I don't know why it's really blowing up today, but it is. It could just simply be it was oversold. It dropped down to like 120s not too long ago. Now it's back up in a big way, almost back to 150, right? I'm glad to see that. Now, lastly, I want to talk about Coinbase. A lot of you guys are interested in the new ASI token, which is emerging between Fetch, Ocean, and Singularity. And Coinbase says they're not going to help with this migration. Okay. So unfortunately, we have seen this before, like with, I believe, Gala when they converted to Gala 2. And what was it, Gala? I don't remember it. Maybe it was Gala, maybe it wasn't. But Coinbase does seem to do this. They don't want to be part of a lot of the conversion process. So you'll have to take your tokens out of Coinbase, or it's going to be stuck there in that previous state, and it's not going to be worth anything. So just FYI, if you have any of the tokens I've just mentioned, Fetch, Ocean, or Singularity, get it out of Coinbase right now. I mean, it's still going to be a while before the conversion happens, but right now, I think Ocean and Singularity will be converted to FET. I don't know if that actually includes this, but to be safe, just get all three out of Coinbase and get it into another exchange that does support a conversion or into a self custody wallet. And lastly, Coinbase is suing the SEC and FDIC. Interesting. Interesting. Even though Ethereum said they're not, well, SEC said they're not going to pursue suing Ethereum any longer, Coinbase is like, you know what? That doesn't stop us from suing you, right? So I don't know. Gary probably doesn't care. Gary's on his last leg, anyways, probably looking for his next job. So I don't know if he cares all that much, but yeah, I love to see stuff like this where the crypto industry comes together and fights back, right? Because the SEC is like this governing body and no one is governing the governing body, right? No one's governing the police in this situation. And it's nice to see someone like Coinbase actually fight back and stand for all of crypto. So that's fantastic. All right, guys, that is it for this video. Stay strong. We're having a decent recovery today. Let's see how the rest of the day goes. Don't fall for the FUD. There's always a lot of FUD, and I know right now with all the government trying to sell at Mt. Gox, it seems scary, but we have seen worse, and we will get through this. All right, smash the like, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.